good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo says the 2017 budget would provide economic growth in Nigeria. The 7.44 trillion naira budget was signed into law almost a month after it was approved by the National Assembly. Osinbajo says the government is determined to reduce reliance on borrowings to fund its expenditures. He said although the economy had already shown signals of recovery, the 2017 budget was designed to pull the country out of recession. Nigeria's anti-corruption agency EFCC has commenced investigations into allegations of budget padding leveled against Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara. Dogara is accused of illegally adding figures to Nigeria's 2016 budget after it was passed by the Nigerian parliament. To help in its investigation, the anti-graft agency has invited the suspended former chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriation, Abdulmumuni Jibrin. Jibrin had raised alarm on the inflation of the budget, and this got him suspended from the lower chamber of the parliament. The case against former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mohammed Adoke, a former Minister of Petroleum, Dan Etete, as well as oil giants Shell, ENI, and 4 others, has again been adjourned to October 26, 2017. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission are arraigning the accused for the illegal sale of oil block OPL 245. The adjournment will give the federal government time to secure attendance in the case. Nigeria's military has set up a committee to probe the clash between the Nigerian Navy and the police force in Calabar, capital of Cross River State. At least 3 police officers were killed in the incident, with an unconfirmed number receiving treatment for various injuries. The joint military panel follows similar actions by the Inspector General of Police Force and the Nigerian Navy. The committee comprises of senior officers from the Nigerian Army, Navy, Police and Air Force. Nigerian lawmakers are meeting with ministers of Interior and Defense accompanied by service chiefs and the senior special assistant to the president on National Assembly matters. The ministers and service chiefs will be briefing lawmakers on the measures taken to tackle the grave security challenges facing the country. The House called for a security summit to curb kidnapping in the country. More on our top stories now. The movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra has appealed for peace at a meeting with northern groups in Kaduna State. The meeting was to broker a peace deal over the quick notice issued to Igbos in the northern part of the country by a coalition of northern youth groups. Meanwhile, Al Mustafa, who is the former chief security officer to lead head of state Sanimat Abacha, has appealed to Kaduna State government and the Inspector General of Police to withdraw the arrest threat on the youth leaders who made the inciting comment on Igbos in the northern part of the country. There was drama at the Taraba State House of Assembly on Tuesday morning as hundreds of herdsmen, butchers and cattle as well as sheep dealers stormed the assembly to protest the anti-grazing bill before the lawmakers in the state. The protesters had earlier taken to major streets in Jalingo, the state capital, protesting the bill, which they described as anti-human and targeted to disabuse the herdsmen and also to undermine and restrict activities of the Fulani ethnic group in the state. They called on the lawmakers to strike out the bill proposed by Governor Darius Ishaku in the interest of peace. A Nigerian Senator, Sani Shehu, is asking the Nigerian government to immortalize late politician MKO Abiola. Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, also referred to as MKO, was believed to have won the June 12 presidential election in 1993, which was then annulled as well as applauded to be the freest and fairest election in the country's history. It was also annulled by the then military government under General Ibrahim Babangida. Speaking at an event to mark the June 12 election annulment, Sani urged the government to ensure the legacy of the late politician never dies.
Nigeria today is befaced with a series of crises. Some have been addressed and some that are lingering. And for those that continuously linger, is a clear sign that our prescription to addressing Nigeria's sickness is still not the right one. We have still not gotten it right as a nation and as a people. We thought by having democracy, representative democracy, that people who win elections will have the monopoly of knowledge of addressing the problems of the country. But it is very clear from unfolding events that winning election and occupying public office with a mandate is not an automatic guarantee for people of that kind to address the problem of the nation. And as such, brings the need for us to do what we need to do. We either need to dust the conference's reports of the past and pick those ones we can implement, or we have to move further and organize a new one that will address these problems that have lingered and that have defied solutions from the people in the position of power. This day is a day for Nigerians to use it as an opportunity to question power, to question the inability of power to address our myriads of socio-economic and political challenges.
The Lagos state government says a purported plan to replace the statues of the late MKO Abiola and the late Gani Fawehinmi at the Ojota Parks with another monument is false. Acting Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Adebimpe Akinshola, said the ongoing remodeling of both parks was to accommodate bigger sculptures of the two prominent Nigerians. She said the government was already set to complete the remodeling of both sculptures with a new statue. The presidency has accused the National Judicial Council of deliberately misrepresenting the law over the recall of some suspended judges. In a statement issued in Abuja, the Special Assistant to the President on Prosecution said some assertions made by the NJC on the issue were false. The National Judicial Council has repeatedly defended its decision to recall 6 judges suspended last year.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we're in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has called on the federal government to extend its whistleblowing policy to the power sector to curb energy theft in that sector. He said available statistics revealed huge energy theft by Nigerians, adding the problem had become a big challenge for not just the power distribution companies, but consumers as well. According to him, if nothing is done, those who pay for energy consumption will continue to bear the overall cost. The rates of the Naira at the parallel market is gradually closing in on the official rates set by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Apex Bank continues to pump millions into the forex market. CBN says its recent intervention in the interbank market forex exchange market to the tune of $413.5 million underscores its determination to guarantee liquidity in the market. The bank offered the sum of $100 million to dealers in the wholesale window, while the small and medium enterprises window was allocated a total of $28 million. Oil prices edged up on news that Saudi Arabia will limit volumes of crude to some Asian buyers in July and dipping cuts to the United States. Brent crude futures ended the session up 14 cents at $48.29 per barrel, while U.S. crude futures gained 25 cents to settle at $46.08 per barrel. Saudi Arabia, the world's top oil exporter, will cut crude allocations to Asia in July to a total of about 300,000 barrels per day, deeper than in June this year. 5 people remain missing after a 7-story building collapsed in an eastern suburb of the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. Officials say the building's tenants had been asked to move on Monday after residents reported cracks in the walls. At least 128 had heeded the call to leave the premises. Residents say they had noticed cracks a week earlier, and these cracks were plastered over with cement by the owners of the building. The cracks re-emerged again on Monday, prompting the call to leave the premises. A child has died of suspected food poisoning at a camp for displaced people near the Iraqi city of Mosul. Hundreds of people have also fallen ill in the IDP camp. People were said to be vomiting and suffering dehydration after an iftar meal to break the daily Ramadan fast in the region. The Hassan Hasham U2 camp between Mosul and Erbil houses people displaced by the Iraqi offensive to capture Mosul from Islamic State militants. Musa Amadou Kida remains president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation. Amadou Kida was returned unopposed in an election held today in Abuja. Also elected on the new board, former NBBF Vice President Babatunde Ogunade, who is from the Southwest region. He retained his position as well as a new vice president. Other elected members are Umar Isa from North Central, Suraju Yusuf from Northwest, Baba Shehu Bakar from Northeast, Osita Nwachukwu from Southeast, Professor Musa Yakasai, who is as well as retired Colonel Sam Amedu Fiba, Amadu Deshi, who is a technical committee representative, as well as Ejike Uwaja, who is a member of the athletics representatives, and Felix Awogu. Spanish prosecutors filed a formal lawsuit against Real Madrid striker Cristiano Ronaldo for tax evasion. According to prosecutors, the Portuguese used his business structure to defraud the state amounts nearing £13 million. Neither Ronaldo nor Real Madrid has agreed to comment on this matter. The Portuguese is one of the latest high-profile footballers to be charged by Spanish prosecutors for tax evasion. European football governing body UEFA has announced the creation of 5 new awards to reward performances in the Champions League. The new awards will reward the best goalkeeper, the best defender, the best midfielder, as well as the best attacker. The nominees will be chosen based on performances in the previous Champions League. The final award will be the UEFA President's Award. The first edition will be presented to Roma legend Francesco Totti, who retired in June this year. That's all we have on News Now. Thanks for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.